Chapter 10. Hwaein walked back onto the court to cheer. From Fṛosino and Kageyama alike, she could see the volleyball club waving at her frantically, Tobio having rejoined their number and assuring them she was all right. A quick glance at the scoreboard told her that Fṛosino was tiring, Hwaein's team having taken the 2 double sets, leaving the remaining 4 singles games. Miss Hwaein, the referee, a middle-aged man with kind smile wrinkles around the corners of his eyes, walked up to her. "Are you all right to play?" She considered her mummified hands, but then she looked to Kageyama's bench, where Natsumi looked rudely happy about her injured state. "I can't believe I ever fell for her fucking stupid friend act." In all honesty, the way the blonde girl had acted genuinely upset Hwaein, that she would have time to cry over that later, for now she gripped her racket, testing a swing, and relieved when the sting in her shredded palms was minimal. "I'll play," she responded, sending another cheer up from the stands. No matter what happened, she was still, undoubtedly, the best player at Kageyama, and this was the simple truth. And aces picked themselves back up. They led their school and team, regardless of what could happen to them in the process. She trotted over to court 3, meeting Sawamura and bowing to the girl. She had heard she was a lot like her older brother, Daichi, kind, understanding, and preservant, and Hwaein had experienced this through their friendship firsthand. But on the tennis court, friendships or relationships were put away. It was just her and them, her and the ball. Hwaein bounced on her toes, catching the balls she was sent for her serve. A couple of drops followed by a perfect toss, and she was on her way, a serve spiraling into the box in front of Sawamura, who'd readjusted her position to return the ball neatly. Gritting her teeth, and yet smiling at the same time, the hair-colored-haired girl ran across the court, feeling the familiar ease and return to where she was at her best. Faintly, as the match dragged on, she could hear Fṛosino taking turns cheering for her and the second-year girl, Kageyama's distinct voice rising above them all to yell her name, and suddenly, the scrapes and pain didn't matter. It may have just been her and the ball, but she still knew Tobio was there too. A surreal kind of detached calm settled over Hwaein as she glanced over at the scoreboard. Kageyama, Fṛosino, 5-2, 40-15. Match point. And she felt as if she wasn't playing at all, a strange, emotionless, as she took in what she would need to win. Of course, winning the finals was a given, with the amount of sets they'd already scored, but it would be a total letdown if Hwaein failed in her singles, disapproving herself as a worthy ace. She could feel exertion getting to her, and was sure of one thing: if she did not take this game, she would lose the set. The motion of pushing the ball down, letting it bounce on the asphalt, and catching it as it flew back up into her hand was calming to her, and she repeated it a few more times before the harsh squeal of the umpire's whistled force to her toss of the yellow ball. She watched it spin, bending her knees and leaping, hitting the ball with the memory of Tobio's spiking instruction guiding her. However, Sawamura was truly credited as an amazing player, and had quickly adjusted to Hwaein's powerhouse serves. The brunette sent the ball hurtling back down the backhand line on the left side of the court from Hwaein's end. She reached it in a couple of leaps, flicking her racket upward so it spiraled with perfect spin all the way to Fṛosino's disadvantage of backhand side. Sawamura stumbled on her sprint, returning the ball short and high. Fuck. Hwaeun had planned on the other girls' return being just as strong as the previous 7 games, but apparently exhaustion mingled with clumsiness made for a weaker shot, one that she hadn't started running early enough for. Kageyama Tobio, with all his analytical genius, noticed this in seconds, and he cupped his hands around his mouth, giving a loud yell, "Hwaeun, fight!" The entire volleyball club picked up the chant, calling, "Hwaeun, fight! Sawamura, fight!" Smiling, the girl with the colored eyes increased her speed, racing to the net and jumping upwards as though she were playing the sport she'd watched practice in the gym every night. With a smile, she brought her racket downwards, smashing the ball down into the court in the corner opposite that in which Sawamura was standing. The overhead was non-returnable, and the ball bounced once before flying straight into the fence. A moment of shocked silence followed, before screams and cheers encouraged both girls to smile and shake each other's hands with genuine happiness at the net. Running to their benches to await the outcomes of the next matches, but Tobio had never been one for patience. He ran from the stands, trailed by the volleyball club and a couple meters behind. Jumping onto the courts to meet Hwaeun, she dropped her racket, opening her arms and letting him embrace her, picking her up and twirling her around until he set her back down. "You were amazing," he breathed. "You cheered me on," she returned, not caring if she was sweaty and bleeding, because he was right there. "You're my team, Tobio." He stared into her eyes with such love-filled intensity the emotion was almost tangible. "Fuck, I love you, Hwaeun." To both their surprise, they somehow ended up kissing in front of everyone, both schools letting out teasing wolf whistles until the students broke apart, remaining in each other's arms as Hwaeun hid herself in his black volleyball jacket. "Hwaeun!" Sugawara's excited scream pulled the girl from Tobio's embrace, and the silver-haired setter was quick to pull her into one of his own. "Hwaeun, Kageyama won!" Hey everyone, so if you're listening to this, thank you for staying with me until the end of the video, or the outro, whatever you would like to call this part of, so here's an update on the situation I told you about last episode. Basically, he asked me out, I went out with him today. Now we're dating, so, actually, we started dating the day he asked me out because, I, had this big-ass crush on him, and so we just, kind of started dating, but today was our first date, and yes, is all I have to say. Yes, I met his mom because it was, a family thing. Then I met his little brother, and I think I met his older brother, but I didn't really talk with his older brother because, whatever. But his little brother, he's a sophomore, so he's, a year younger than us, and we went to his robotics competition, and it was amazing. It was really loud, which I did not like, but it was fun, too, so, I can't, pick and choose, Anyways, so yeah, I just wanted to I'm sorry. So yeah, I just wanted to update you guys about what was going on in my life because I'm very happy. Other than that, I'm so sorry for not posting. Tomorrow I will post the epilogue, and then I'm going to post the entire series in one video that same day because I've been, doing it. Also, I'm going to be posting the past 3 chapters in this one on Spotify tonight, so stay tuned for that. That's really all I have for you guys tonight. Anyways, have an amazing day, have an amazing morning, have an amazing night, whenever you are. Did I say that? Have an amazing morning, have an amazing night, have an amazing afternoon, whenever you are, and I will see you guys tomorrow with the epilogue. Goodbye!